Hey everyone, finished watching the next episode of Operation Overdrive, one fine day. The Rangers are going out for a picnic. Rose and Tyzon stay behind, but Rose gets fed up with Tyzon being nosy and decides to join the others. Tyzon follows and catches up. He joins too. Dax suddenly sees something unusual. He thinks it's a Bigfoot. The Rangers follow it. The Fear Cats, meanwhile, are searching for some magic thingamajig. They set up a force field around their area. Mr. Hartford and Spencer detect it, but don't want to bother the Rangers on their day off. Mr. Hartford then shares some curious dialogue with Spencer. He says it's been 2 years since Mac arrived. What could he mean by that? The Rangers follow the Bigfoot's tracks until they mysteriously stop. They walk ahead only to bump into a force field. Tyzon is familiar with it. He knows how to go through it and helps them through. Something happens, though, and some of the Rangers are suddenly thrown back. Only Tyzon and Rose made it through. Tyzon can't get back out, so they're stuck on the inside, and the others are stuck on the outside. The Rangers on the outside summon Sentinel Knight, and he tries to break the force field. Rose and Tyzon, meanwhile, find the Bigfoot. Turns out it was Norg. He has a spike stuck in his foot. Tyzon removes it. Somehow, it's longer than the vertical height of his foot. It's also all bloody and makes squelching noises when he pulls it out. I'm not sure why Power Rangers suddenly decided to go full gross out here. It's pretty jarring, especially for how chill this episode has been so far. The Fear Cats show up and Norg runs away. Tyzon and Rose morph and fight them off. Later, Rose asks Tyzon about the way he's been acting. He says he just wanted to be closer to her. She tells him they are close, but he responds that she's too distant and doesn't let anyone get too personal. She knows answers from books, but doesn't let on anything about herself. Rose then explains that she felt neglected as a child and dedicated herself to studying to feel special. She admits that it didn't work. Tyzon tells her that she is a special person, and Rose replies that Tyzon is too. The Fear Cats attack. Tyzon is wounded, and Rose battles Mig alone. Benglo finds the magic thingamajig. Rose manages to find and break the seal that's keeping the force field up. Just as she's about to run out of energy, the others show up and back her up. They call the Megazord, and Sentinel Knight checks on Tyzon. The Rangers defeat the Fear Cats and get back the magic thingamajig. They return to Tyzon and Sentinel Knight. Norg is there, performing a magic ritual to revive Tyzon. It works, but then Norg sees Mac and runs away. Mac explains to the others that he met him that time Flurius held him prisoner. Norg returns to his cave, and Flurius yells at him for leaving for some reason. I'm split on this episode. There's some really good moments, but then there's also stuff that just drags everything down. Rose and Tyzon build up a bond, but from the start, it just feels off. Rose never confronts Tyzon about how he's been acting until way later, completely uninitiated. His explanation is forced and out of nowhere. Rose isn't open enough with people since when? Yeah, she's unusually intelligent, but that didn't seem to stop her from being a generally friendly person. This trait, apparently, was completely off-screen. I don't know where Tyzon could have picked this up from. Based on what I know of Rose's character, if Tyzon was irritating her, she'd just confront him immediately about it from the start. She wouldn't try to avoid him. If he told her she was distant, I guess she'd make more of an effort to talk with him more, or maybe? That part I really can't figure out an alternative to. It's so weird. The Rangers having a picnic is a neat idea for a plot. After the past couple of very action-driven episodes, a slower-paced episode could really balance things. Personally, I don't think the Fear Cats even needed to be there. I think the Rangers could have carried a whole episode by themselves. Norg was a nice addition to everything, but we don't learn too much about him. He can perform magic, which is interesting. I wonder why Flurius never takes advantage of that. I don't know why Norg runs from the Rangers. All I can guess is he's more afraid of what Flurius will say about it. When Rose calls Spencer to send the Zords, I can't understand the last word she says. Spencer, send the something. What was the last word she says? It sounds like Dizzies or Goonies. Do the auxiliary Zords have some alternative name I'm forgetting? I checked the YouTube closed captioning on the episode, and it says Goodies. Goodies? That's such a weird thing to call the Zords. So I checked the subtitles on the official Disney DVD. The audio is clear enough on the Disney DVD that I can make out that she is indeed calling the Zords Goodies. The subtitles also use the word Goodies. Maybe Mr. Tickle Sneezer guest wrote that part.
Ha! Another goodie!
One really clever, subtle bit is why the human chain the Rangers form to get through the force field breaks. Taizan tells everyone to hold hands. As long as no one stops making physical contact, they'll all get through. No one stops, but the chain is broken anyway. Could it be because someone's body isn't organic? The twist about Mac coming up has little clues peppered throughout Overdrive, giving rewatches some extra value. This is definitely one of the better instances. There's even some misdirection when Taizan mentions going through the force field, making him weaker, implying it may have been him who was the reason they got split. Despite the flaws, I think this is one of the better episodes of the season. If only Rose could have been more in character, this might have been one of the strongest, so that's it for this one. Hope you enjoyed it. See ya.
Spencer, send the goodies!
This is the best goodie I ever collected.